The Shriens and Temples at Nikko are Tochigi's most visited tourist site. Just 2 hours from Tokyo, this World Heritage Site is a frequent day trip destination from Tokyo. Behind Future Sun Shrine is a trailhead. This is the Old Pilgrims Way up into the mountains and is still used to go up to Mount Nyoho. I tried hiking this trail. It ended with me walking back through the Shriens and Temples at Nikko among all the tourists and everyone there, dirty, smelly, and with my legs covered in blood. We have reached Gyoja-do, the Hall of the Aesthetic, which is a hall commemorating Gyoja, who was a mystic in the 7th century. He was very involved in mountain worship and, going up into the mountains and worshiping for spiritual enlightenment. He was an important figure in Nikko, and this is the traditional starting point for pilgrims going into the mountains. And if you know me, I'm a sucker for traditions. I pretty much always ask for the same thing when I go into the mountains. Please let it be a fun, safe, successful hike, and I don't get hurt, and I don't get killed. And if you do kill me up here, please make it quick and relatively painless. Well, turns out there are just tons of leeches in this part. And it hasn't cooled down enough to kill them or make them hibernate yet, so I'm probably gonna bleed at some point here. Do you eat leeches? Because you should eat lots of leeches. Alright, looks like we are popping out onto the road for a very, very short amount of time. Can you imagine dragging something like this up here in the old days? No, thank you. Well, so far it's lots of leeches, a bit of blood loss, and not much for views. I have a feeling this is a trail I'm going to hike this one time and be like, oh yeah, I went the Old Pilgrims Way up one time, and then never do again. So if I had taken the Kirifuri route, which had been my original thought, you'd be basically hiking along a ridge and the views are much better there. But I'll probably just go back that way. The trail it's not so easy to see in some places. Wish I had long hiking pants right now. Like things other than blue jeans. My legs are getting scratched up and bit up. Ugh. Deer. Right there, female. I think. She's got a thin neck. Yep. Plenty of deer in here. Well, there's a reminder that this is the Pilgrim's Way. A little bit of fog off on the side. Right now I'm really wishing I hadn't had to work all night and I'd gotten some sleep. Because honestly, last time I slept was a nap that ended at 2 p.m. yesterday. So I think if I had gotten some sleep over the night, I'd feel better and fresher. But, I got a wife and kid. I gotta take whatever work I can get. Okay. Fog's closing in. It's getting cooler. I'm not sure that's a good thing. I'd really hate to lose visibility. Yeah, I think that would be pretty if I could see anything. All right, this is a little ridiculous. I want to clarify that I find all of this funny now. All of these things happening to me, everything that went wrong on this hike. Within 2 weeks, it was pretty funny to me. And here I am about 6 weeks later, and it's definitely funny. Now, at the time, I didn't feel it was funny, but that's hiking. It's hard to see the obstacles underfoot, like that log. I don't enjoy this type of hiking. Even if I was feeling better. It's getting foggy again. That felt like a raindrop. Great. You know, it is almost spooky with the fog. I hope I'm going the right direction. It feels like there's a trail under my feet. Very faded yellow mark. Red ribbon. I'm going the right way. So judging by the condition of the trail, the spider webs across the trail, how obscure the trail is in places, I think I'm one of the only people to go up here in quite a while. Wish we could see further. I'm tired. I don't want to hike up that. I want a pizza. Those rain bursts are becoming more frequent. Fog closing in. I should probably keep my eyes out for a place to pitch a tent because I don't want to be caught in a bad situation. It might be safer to stop hiking early, pitch a tent, and just wake up really early in the morning. I think it goes this way. I hope this is the right way. I mean, it looks like... why can't we have a marked tree to help me out here? There we go. Yellow dots on the rocks. Honestly, if I wasn't exhausted, I would think this was a nice change of pace from the grass and the trees and the forest and not being able to see my feet because of the grass. This way or that way? That way, I guess. Oh, like that. Okay. Zigzag. You know, with pine trees, it kind of reminds me of some places that I hiked in Maine in the United States. Rocky with pines. There's a sign up there. Also, rocks are, usually rocks like this, they're really nice handholds. Okay. Wish it was more like this from the start. I would have liked it better. Still would be exhausted. All right. I'm afraid the weather's just gonna get worse. So this looks like as good a spot as any. The rain's gusting more. I'm exhausted. The fog is not letting me see very much. A little nerve-wracking, to be honest. All right, so where's my tent? See that? Here we go. So, vlog time, I guess. Weather's gotten worse. has been getting worse. It's getting late. I'm exhausted. That trail is it's kind of hard to follow at places, unfortunately. So I found a place that works for camping, I guess. You know, there's enough space to pitch a tent. It is an incline. I should have pitched it sideways. I know that now. Now I know that for next time, but it's already up and it's raining out there. And I'm tired. Vlog time, I guess. So, I'm really glad I'm inside this tent. It kind of got nasty. Well, it's not nasty. One observation, this tent is pretty loud in the wind. You can hear the rain. It's cool. I almost grabbed my phone to try to record it. You could hear off the distance the deer. It kind of like a bugle sound, kind of similar to like an elk. Not the same as an elk, but similar to. Alright. I'm gonna try to get some more sleep. I think what's gonna happen in maybe an hour or so is I'm gonna pack up and I'm just gonna walk back to Nikko. Deal with the leeches and all that stuff, bleed out again. What a day. I have a ton of missed calls from my wife, which I'm kind of thinking this has to be an emergency, so I need to get back down. But then again, it's also my wife, so it might be nothing. That's kind of the problem. So, yeah, I think I'm going to pack up and go back the way I came. Oh. Mount Fuji in the distance. Alright, it's a little windy. There's Fuji in the distance. Natai-san. Plum Natai-san before. I'll link that video. I didn't get as high as I had hoped, but I still accomplished my goal of, you know, getting out, having an adventure, a little camping in. So I'm gonna go back down the way I came. Now, maybe that it's clearer, I'll like the trail more, because when I was going up, I was like, not great views, lots of leeches. The trail's hard to follow in places. Got turned around a few places where I was like, where's the trail? Which wasn't much fun. Lessons. Oh man, lack of sleep is a killer of performance. You know, not sleeping at all before I started today. Whoa, that made it rough. I was still able to do something, I guess, which is, you know, good. I need to exercise more. It's been, you know, summer's been nasty, so I've stayed at home doing nothing. I'm one of those people that gets fat during the summer and then loses weight the rest of the year. Definitely need to do more training with a really heavy backpack like this, because, you know, I wore this backpack a few times. I didn't load it up with much weight though. Now in hindsight, I should have done that. Bring more water. I drink a lot of water. I don't know why, but I was like, the bag's already heavy. I'll only take, you know, the two 780 milliliter bottles that are like my day-to-day bottles, and a 1 liter. Should have gotten a 2nd liter. So that must be the Daigawa, and that's Nikko, or at least part of Nikko. That might be the Amachi area. Anyways. This part's nice. Yeah, it looks better today. And windy. Yeah, so yesterday you could not see that view. You could maybe see that there was a hint of a hill or mountain past this one that we're going up now, but could not see those cliffs yesterday, and that's beautiful. All right, so back into this stuff, the woods with the long grass that can be hard to find the way. So I think the pretty part is over. Well, at least the grass is not as wet today, so I'm not getting soaked with every step. I mean, it's still a little damp. I wonder if it'll be damper the lower I get too. But, God, it's hard to see all the rocks and stuff that trips you up here. All right, it is very slippery here. Oh, I don't usually hike with sticks. I haven't hiked with sticks in years. Suddenly wishing I hiked with sticks. Yeah, all the pleasantness of the trail is gone. It's back to me being like, oh my God, why am I hiking this? Well, it's because it's a shorter distance and less time than going up and over. All right, so we're heading into the area where A, I got bit by a lot of leeches yesterday, but B, I saw a lot of deer, and I hear deer. So let's see if we end up busting up any deer again. Keep our eyes out, maybe we can spot them before they run. Whoa! And slippery. Definitely slippery. So I will say, with it being clear, the views are nicer here, because yesterday I really couldn't see anything. We are low enough down now that you do get some cell reception. So I did get in contact with my wife. Turns out she was just being paranoid. She was worried that I don't know, had drowned in the storm or something. Hypothermia, things like that. No, when I first met her, so my wife is like, you know, grew up in a city, lives in cities all of her life. Met me, I like outdoor stuff, obviously. So it was a struggle to get her to understand at first that cell phones don't work everywhere, because she'd never really been somewhere where cell phones don't work. You know, at worst, maybe she's been to a park or somewhere that, you know, it doesn't have the greatest reception, but you can still get through. But the idea of just, no, they just period don't work, that was a pretty foreign concept to her. All right, I will give it credit. It is much nicer when the weather is clear. When it's foggy and you cannot see far, like yesterday, it was pretty like, oh, this is boring, I don't like it. So I do give it some redeeming perks for that. All right, where's the next marker? Ooh. All right, almost out of the trees. And I think it's a long, open downhill for a ways. Oh, the footing's rough here. Ooh, that breeze is nice. Fog started to come in again. Ooh. Oh man, I lost my water bottle. Probably without any water in it, it's too light to actually resist being bumped out. Damn it. Yeah, that is that's much prettier when you can see farther. Can't even see far. The sun. Now there's something I haven't felt in a while. It feels like we're kind of almost level with the clouds now. Okay. Way nicer hike today. Still a little wet for my taste. So yesterday when I was coming through this section, you know, I couldn't even see the end because of the fog. It was already rolling in, which, I don't know, made it more frustrating because you couldn't quite tell where you were going. And it was harder to get context clues when you couldn't quite see which way the trail went. Ooh. So now that I'm in this really wet, slippery, leechy, can't see very far stuff again, I'm starting to be like, I don't like it. I don't like this trail. That's kind of my overall impression. So this is kind of the last long, steep section. There's going to be another steep section, but it's pretty short, and that's right by the trailhead. But this one is, going to be kind of long and unpleasant. I don't want to slip and fall. We're actually going all the way down to that road down there. So many leeches. I think I've decided I like leeches less than ticks. That's not saying much. They're both down there on like my least favorite animals, along with mosquitoes. But I think I dislike leeches more than ticks. Once I get down to the road, I'm going to take a break, take off my shoes and socks, pull all these leeches off, disgusting little things, and just take a few minutes break before the last part. The last part's also full of leeches too, so I'll have to do it again at the trailhead, but there's just so many of them here. It's disgusting. I hate them. All right, a short uphill, a short steep downhill, then we get to the trailhead, pull more leeches off me, and this leech-filled nightmare of a trail will be done, and I won't have to do it again. Hi, Mr. Frog. Or I guess you'd be a toad. Eat lots of leeches, okay? I hate them. All right, nice and easy. Don't want to hurt yourself on the last part. Person that acts safely is the person that gets to go home. Oh, there it is. I can see it now. There's the hall.
I think my big takeaway from this trip is just how much I hate blood-sucking creatures. Leeches, ticks, mosquitoes, politicians.
Oh, finally. It's over. There's the trailhead. I think it's about a 20-ish minute walk to the shrines. They have places that you can get water there, nice little fountain. Oh, see how much water I can drink. Well, I am never doing that again.